Hey guys, welcome to episode 1 of the 4 Count. If you're new here, hit that like button, hit subscribe, comment down below. Boys, episode 1, we're here. Now you're getting the full podcast. Previously, you'd get bits and pieces on TikTok and Instagram. We clipped the topics, we posted online, and there was never a full podcast. But now there is. In many ways, it feels like episode 10. But no, we're at episode 1. Find us on Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, the whole 9. You'll find us there. Boys, do you want to say anything for our first episode before we rip in?
Yeah, first episode. Again, it was all our TikToks and especially too, we're getting a lot of interaction. So it's good that now we can upload the full videos and, hopefully more people interact on YouTube and, just basically a longer format of those smaller clips. And, you get to see more of what we're saying because sometimes clips can be misleading. And when you get to see the full, context of that whole thing, then you'd understand.
We're saying we're misleading the people? No, it's all good, man. Now, anyways, let's rip in. All right, first topic we got is Danhausen. I mean, he's honestly been the most exciting thing on SmackDown to date. I can't think of another storyline that's, getting me intrigued and getting me, wanting to watch a SmackDown other than what's happening with Danhausen. Now he's got that little cloning storyline that we're going to find out next week who he's cloning. We got rumors of the gingerbread man. We got Braun Strowman. There's rumors of him coming back. I've been hearing Baron Corbin now. But yeah, what are your thoughts, boys? Is Danhausen the most exciting thing on SmackDown?
Yeah, look, SmackDown's so washed. Even with Cody and Gunther, it's just so, I don't know, just something's weird. Like it's just not. Everything about SmackDown is so boring that's gotten to the point where Danhausen has been the only thing, as you said, everyone's looking forward to. I'm loving this storyline to do with the whole cloning thing. I think now we know it's going to be a giant next. It's just, again, who's going to be it. But yeah, like they're not going to scrap SmackDown, but SmackDown has been so bad, like so boring. It just feels so forced, like they just have to do it because they got to make money and just nothing is clicking. No storylines are connecting. The Tama Tonga and Shinsuke Nakamura is just dragging again. He's always coming to talk to him, and that's a common theme, just constantly dragging these storylines. Like that's getting a bit boring. Cody and Gunther, yes, it might be a good match, when they face off, but is the build up good? Like just nothing good comes out from SmackDown, and thank God Danhausen, he's literally saving SmackDown right now.
The only thing, that is not bad in SmackDown. I think Trick William is really carrying that, SmackDown for, since he's joined the company. I think Cody Rhodes, I just feel, he's probably didn't deserve this belt. I think, as we all know, Randy should have got it. And I just think for now, Cody's probably not, the face of SmackDown, which technically he is, but what my focus is on, like, in regards to, like, Trick Williams, where everyone is literally, like, focused on in, and when I'm watching it, I'm, like, keen on seeing what, the plans are for Trick Williams. But in regards to Danhausen, of course, like, literally when his face is on the screen, he's getting big pops every single week, and he's literally with Trick Williams. Everyone looks forward to, watching these two perform on SmackDown, and I think there is a massive issue on SmackDown, and it has been here since Roman and the Bloodline stopped for, when he lost the title. And I think that's been on the decline since then because, as we know, Roman was the one holding SmackDown and SmackDown was relevant because of him. But ever since that, I think there has been a massive shift in regards to, like, quality and the quantity on SmackDown. Storyline hasn't been up to the expectations us fans want. They've really got to fix it, or if not, just cancel the whole SmackDown and just focus on one show.
Or just go to 2 hours. I mean, there was rumors at one point of SmackDown going to 2 hours.
They changed it.
I mean, I don't know if it's still happening, but it doesn't seem like it's happening. I mean, we're still watching 3 hour SmackDowns.
Was there a specific date that was going to come on, like the 2 hour?
They said about a month ago,
it should happen
less than a month
soon,
ago.
And nothing's happened.
Because, like when you got Danhausen, who's supposed to be this comedy act and supposed to be this jobber, in the company, and when you got his storylines, being more over than a Cody Rhodes and Gunther storyline, you got issues in your brand. Yeah. And that's what's happening with SmackDown. And not to mention, like, the continuous stopping and starting of storylines. How many payoffs didn't we get? I mean, I could think of many. I mean, you think about there was a few on Raw, a few on SmackDown, but it's not coming to my head actually right now. But there's been many instances where WWE don't continue a storyline that should have a big payoff. I was going to say that came to my head now. They end up getting rid of her. You know what I mean? So
And Oscar left too.
And yeah, exactly. And she's semi-retired. I don't know if she's fully left, but
well, after Brock, you never know if she's.
I mean, after Brock, we'll get into it. But yeah, like that's another thing that's going wrong with WWE in there and SmackDown as of right now. I mean, especially even the Maxine Dupree. I mean, I know it's on Raw, but the Vision, Maxine Dupree and Austin Theory.
Yeah,
I mean, they've been in the background for so long, and we still haven't had a payoff. We don't know why they're together. And I don't know if we're ever going to find out why they're together.
There's always loopholes. There's always things that we just never understand. Even a few years ago, maybe it involved Karrion Kross that sometimes where there's things they're putting intentionally, but they're just not explaining it and they just leave it in the...
Regarding like Danhausen, is it because, is this showing like, with the other wrestlers that they should look at themselves, or is it a thing where it's just storyline wise?
Yeah,
because
it's
you
not
look
the
at
wrestlers.
you look at Danhausen, I'm saying like he came in, no one expected him to be, this funny and, bring so much
it's over
in the company. Is it the way he's delivering certain things that, fans are, enjoying compared to the other wrestlers, or is it all on blame on like the story writers, the writers of the company and that?
I think it's just a breath of fresh air.
You reckon that's what
I think that's what it is. As much as I don't like the comedy acts in WWE, i.e. the Gingerbread Man, I didn't like that storyline, and I did go on record by saying the only really comedy act or comedy storyline that I liked going on as of right now is The Miz, Kit Wilson, and Danhausen. That's the only storyline that works. And I feel like a lot of people are seeing the Danhausen character or the Danhausen gimmick as a breath of fresh air. I mean, it's all nothing but serious in WWE. Serious storylines. Your Gunther, your Cody Rhodes. Well, you know what's happening with the Bloodline, Jacob Fatu on Raw. It's nothing but serious storylines. And I feel like with Danhausen, and another thing with Danhausen is it's not like it's forced. It's not pushed onto anyone.
So
it's just him. That's his gimmick. He's been doing it for how many years now? He's been over before coming into WWE, and he's bringing that over into the company, and he's making people realize why he was over from the start. And again, it's not pushing anybody. He's naturally gotten over with the crowd. If anything, the crowd hated him to begin with, with how he debuted. So,
but then after that, they start to get used to it, and then obviously they're liking him now. And not just that, like with the comedy stuff, like I think the fans haven't seen that in a long, long time since Santino Marella. Like,
probably like the PG era.
Yeah, the PG
2011
era,
days.
So now, as soon as he came into the company, I think they made a bigger difference. And now with the, how can I say, like the audience, like investing into him, like, and he's investing to the fans.
Yeah, he made, he was, what is the top 3 merch sellers at WrestleMania 42?
That's right,
behind Cody Rhodes and CM Punk. I mean, that just says it all. I mean, people lie, but numbers don't.
Yeah. And they should keep this up with Danhausen. Like, don't let it just, just for this little moment and slowly just fade him. Keep him like this for a while now, because you've got something that's working on SmackDown, and keep it like that. You don't want it to... at least, I know the ratings aren't going to go so high, but at least Danhausen can do something with SmackDown, and, maybe they can build something around him. He's doing a fantastic job, and they can't ruin that.
And as a WWE fan, like, I actually want to see that more constantly, like every week, especially like when he's doing the storyline with The Miz and Kit Wilson. I want him to do more storylines with other superstars as well. Yeah. And I don't know if you saw the that little pyro segment when he was in the back and he was doing that, like that chemical.
Danhausen. I saw that.
Like that. That's what. That was funny. But
there was a funny one on. I think it was
Which one?
So I think a ladder fell behind Brie Bella and what's it called?
And Paige.
Sorry, and then he walks past him, taps her on the shoulder, and just runs straight. I was dying at that.
It's just funny. It reminds me of R-Truth in the Judgment Day, where everyone was just, invested in what's happening with R-Truth and Damian Priest. It was such a fun, segment, and it kept on going for weeks, and we all loved it. With the Danhausen, it's the same thing.
Well, who do you think Danhausen is cloning?
I'd love to say Omos. That would
so. How do we know? How do we know it's a giant?
I think I remember
he's out on the stretcher. Yeah, he had that mystery person out with a cloth over on a stretcher.
So it's going to be a giant.
I don't want a Braun Strowman. No disrespect to him. I just think we're seeing he always comes and leaves. So an Omos will be, something different. We haven't seen him in a while.
We haven't seen him since when? 21, 22 actually.
He appeared on the Mexican
Triple A.
Triple A,
he did. Yeah, I doubt it'd be Omos.
I don't think so. Since he's on Triple A, he won't, because he's nothing got some sort of.
People are saying Baron Corbin, since there's been rumors of him potentially coming back to WWE. Do you think it could be him?
Honestly, it could be. He's always had that role where he's always in these different type of storylines. I remember when he was
Happy Corbin, was he?
when he was all rich and had the money, and then he lost all the money.
That was quite entertaining.
So he
too.
always has those interesting storylines. He's not usually those serious characters.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, wrestlers. So I think this would be a WWE thing to bring him into this Danhausen situation.
I'm thinking, and I think this is true because, yeah, he's brought him out on a stretcher, and I think it's something that's inanimate, and it'll be the gingerbread man.
Oh,
Yeah, because because
he did take
nobody, he's not going to bring out a living person out on a
yeah,
stretcher
you're right.
where it has a cloth over
And
him.
he took the
suit.
costume too.
Exactly,
The
and he's
Yeah.
taken the costume,
Yeah.
and you can tell WWE want him to work with this gingerbread man storyline. And I swear to God, if they go this direction, I'm about to lose my shit. But if anyone's gonna make this work, it'll be Danhausen.
But again,
if
with
anyone's gonna change my mind about the gingerbread man,
Danhausen.
it's Danhausen.
But it would work together with, honestly, as we've spoken about this with Trick Williams and that it doesn't work out. Like, you can't be building Trick Williams with the gingerbread man.
But
I think with
Danhausen,
Danhausen, it suits and it makes sense.
Fits his gimmick.
It's not
That's what I'm thinking it is.
Yeah.
unless Baron Corbin will be under it.
But like,
Who knows?
Yeah, could
We'll-
someone
Maybe,
be
maybe.
under
We'll find
it?
out.
It's either they go down the path, they just get a random to dress up as the gingerbread man, or they have to get a wrestler because who knows, that gingerbread man might tag team with him.
it'll be Gingerhausen.
Gingerhausen.
I'm telling you, he will come out as Danhausen. Just like how we got Minihausen, he'll come out with the face paint, with the gingerbread man face paint. He'll come out in the Danhausen gimmick.
Yeah.
That's my prediction. Because I'm look, if I was a betting man, which I'm not. Anyway, if I was a betting man, I'd bet on Gingerhausen.
Probably will.
Probably will. Anyways, moving on.
Righto.
Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
Who
Wow.
saw that coming?
That's
Fuck,
crazy.
man.
No one.
Fuck, I don't know how to explain it, bro. Like, out of all people, him, like, just coming back, like, all of a sudden, I was like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
WWE.
That's my
I'm gonna
reaction,
put my
bro.
hands up and say you duped us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, everybody thought Brock Lesnar was retired. He's done. He had his boots in the middle of the ring. He's hugged. He's thrown up the X sign. And if you know the X sign, it means it's not kayfabe. They're going off script.
Yeah.
He's done the X sign. Told Paul Heyman, come in, give me a hug. I'm done. But nah, they had other plans. They knew what they were doing.
And-
I'm
yeah.
telling you that, look, bro, it's just so good, man. It's so good to finally get surprised in WWE.
because-
Everything's leaked online,
I
dirt
know,
sheets, and
I
the
know.
whole nine. But it's so good to actually get a surprise like
Yeah,
that.
this is one of those moments where like no one expected this, no one at all. And I think now it makes sense why they had brought the open challenge in, because before we knew Brock returned, this whole thing, why is he doing another open challenge? He just did it before he challenged Brock. Then he goes to WrestleMania and then another open challenge. So now all of that makes sense. WWE don't look stupid at all now. It was all for a purpose because Brock came out, and especially last week, Oba had no one to face. So the fact that now he's came in on Raw and then Brock just attacks him behind, bro, that's what we're looking for. That's what WWE has been missing. They have it in them, but they just lack it
They
sometimes.
don't have the right talent to challenge Oba Femi in his level.
Yeah.
That's why I wonder why Brock Lesnar came back, because he wants to rematch him. I think in Clash in Italy.
Clash in Italy.
So I don't know if you saw the segment with Paul Heyman and Adam Pearce.
Yes. Yeah.
He said they had the paperwork.
Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar, when he said it, I was like, what's he saying? I'm like, he should.
That was
Yeah.
amazing.
Brock Lesnar retired, but Brock
Lesnar's
Lesnar
back.
debuted.
So we've had. Oh no, I'll mention it later.
That's what I say it.
No,
Just say it.
It's regards to NRL. We had Brock Lesnar, and then we had what's it? What did Laurie Daly
Casey
say?
McGuire.
Casey
Casey
McGuire.
McGuire.
That's it.
Yeah. For those of you who watch NRL, you get that reference.
With but it links well to Seth Rollins. You know, when he fooled everyone with his ACL injury, his knee injury. But I feel this is a bit different because with Seth Rollins, people sussed him. And there was some, like, I feel, when I was watching, I said, bro, I think this guy's faking it. People had, feelings that this guy was, it was all storyline, it was all an act. But with this one, literally no one could say they thought he was coming. Like you said, he put the X sign. Everyone said it was done. And I think this brings something, like you said in the boys, it brings something exciting finally to WWE, because it's just been so predictable. Every week, we know what's going to happen. We've seen with Roman that it's the same brawl every single week. But this is hopefully something heading into, the right direction with WWE. And if they can get this right again, who knows what we can see in this
But
storyline.
It means one thing, that now Gunther probably will retire him.
Most likely.
When it all happened, everyone's happy. You know what? Good on Brock. You know, he went off script and he let Oba retire him. Now it doesn't look that way. So it looks like Gunther's going to be the one to retire him.
Do you really think Gunther?
I hope that. Everyone, you know, thought it was the right thing that Oba retired him. You know, making him the next big thing, making him the next beast.
Oh, do you reckon it'd be the best of three? Maybe Lesnar beats him in Italy, and then SummerSlam will be Oba Lesnar 3, and then Oba gets the torch.
It's like David versus Goliath. You know,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Just like you know, you play again NRL reference, State of Origin, game of 3. You know, whoever
the cider,
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Will it be a game of 3? Will it be a match of 3? You know, again, Lesnar lost the first match. Lesnar will win the second match, and then it'll be 1-1, and then going into SummerSlam, which could be Lesnar's last match. Could we see Lesnar pass the torch on to Oba?
Yeah.
I think
or
it is
just do like a stipulation match for his last match.
It's actually
you know?
a better thing to do because
Yeah.
I feel Gunther, yes, we've seen him retire the likes of Cena, AJ Styles, but I feel that's a great way to put it in a better, scenario because I don't think Brock comes here. Brock can't lose this one now against Oba
no way.
because he
sense.
shows his back. He's here. His dominance is there. He has to beat Oba in the first one.
Yeah.
But with the next one, Oba and Brock Lesnar, he has to win. Of course, to end Brock Lesnar's reign and show he's the next big one in the future of the company.
The only thing I'm annoyed is that we're going to have to see Oba lose now. I was hoping he wouldn't lose any matches.
But does it make... Do you think he won't?
No, he will lose. He's got to lose.
If
Lesnar's back, he's got to lose.
Yeah, Brock's not losing.
Especially now, he's been on his back. I mean, he took what, five F5s?
5 F5s, yeah.
I mean,
Took
like
him down.
we're already seeing now Oba start to crumble, just start to crack. There's a little crack in Oba, but now going into clash in Italy. I mean, who knows? I mean, I could see Oba losing this match.
I think so. I don't think it'll make sense if Brock loses. Yeah. Why hype him up? He's returned and he's going to lose again.
Yeah, and I think it's the best way of doing it. Get a match of 3, best of 3. You go 1-1 going to SummerSlam, and there'll be stakes. You know, there'll be you'd feel the hype around it.
It gets me.
They 1-1. Is Oba Femi really gonna demolish Brock Lesnar for good? Is he gonna send him into retirement for good? And I feel like, it
gets me thinking, do you think Brock Lesnar actually retired and they needed him because of the ratings, or it was all part of the storyline? Because there's ways you can look at it, because WWE, as we've said, has started so bad in 26. And it gets me thinking, like, how
I think they knew what they were doing.
You reckon they knew?
They knew what they were doing.
But just, again, the way they ended that Mania was like so real.
Yeah.
And like it was so believable.
Did we forget about Mark Henry?
Yeah, true. Exactly.
Back in what, 2013? Well, it was.
Yeah, it was something like that. John Cena.
World's strongest man with John Cena. The whole world. Bro, I started. Not gonna lie. Somebody was cutting onions when I seen Mark Henry retire, because, bro, that I felt that.
Yeah.
And this is the same thing with Lesnar. And they tried to do the same thing with Styles, and he actually got injured, I think it was a couple of weeks later or the week later. Yeah. So I'm saying WWE do these sort of storylines, and I wouldn't be surprised if this was an actual work.
Yeah.
So
potentially,
it could be. The only thing is, like, it may look like that because WWE is in such a bad position. And again, like, it just felt like Brock wanted Oba to retire him. Like, he wanted it to end it there. So, like, you could think maybe there's a possibility where, because I feel like when Cena says he retires, he's done. Look at the R-Truth one, for instance. How he goes, when WWE go, when they got rid of him and they sacked him, WWE changed it as if he never was sacked. So they sort of changed the whole storyline and what really happened. So maybe WWE have said, you know what, we probably need him back. Brock would have got some big money.
At the end of the day, we're not going to know.
Again, we're not going to know, but I'm saying I feel Brock's more of the type to instantly come back out of his retirement if he did retire. I don't think so, because, as I said earlier, the Open Challenge all makes sense now why they brought it back again. So,
but another thing about Gunther possibly retiring Lesnar is, like, bro, you had it there. You had Oba, demolishing Lesnar as the next big guy in the company, the next Brock Lesnar in the company at WrestleMania. You had it there, man. The torch has been passed, and now you just in my opinion, as much as I still want to see Lesnar, in my opinion, they've ruined it in a way. They've ruined that fairy tale ending for Lesnar as that, that old veteran who was an Oba Femi at one stage, passing on the torch to an Oba Femi, a young, hungry Oba Femi. And it's like, now that Gunther is going to possibly retire Lesnar, I mean, like, it's not even believable that Gunther would beat Lesnar.
Yeah, I think what you said, I think that was the perfect ending a wrestler could have on their last match. Again, passing the torch, as you said. And was Brock Lesnar, did he get eliminated by Oba?
Yeah,
Oba,
eliminated him.
Yeah, Royal Rumble.
Yeah, that's what I said. So it started to show the weakness side of Brock Lesnar. So he was losing, and I feel if they're taking this road of maybe if Gunther was going to be the one, is it going to be the same like final moment with the fans? Because we already enjoyed that moment at Mania.
Yeah,
we all said our farewells and goodbyes, and it was an emotional moment for all the WWE fans. And is it going to be, would that last retirement match for Brock Lesnar feel the same? Is it going to be pointless because we already experienced that at Mania? And like Bill said, the torch has already been passed, and now Oba might lose to Brock if they were to do the match at Clash of Italy. So mix of emotions in this one, to be honest.
I feel it does a lot of harm because like Oba beat Brock, and again, as we all said, what a way Oba's sent Brock Lesnar to retirement. That's it. He's done. Yeah. He's no longer in the WWE. Now that he's back, I feel like it cancels out his win. Because what a winner was, you sent Brock to retirement, and now he's came back. He's F5'd you 5 times.
Yeah.
You just look weak again. I feel he was on the rise of, Oba being, the best. He's coming up. Just looked like unstoppable.
So what was the point of the squash match? But it just came to my head now. Like, if you were gonna make Oba obliterate Brock Lesnar on the grandest stage of them all at WrestleMania, it's like, and he just came back after. What was the point of having a 5-minute match where it was all Oba Femi? Yeah. You know what I mean?
That's how I feel like.
Because that was the passing of the torch moment right there. That was like the young guy beating the old guy.
Yeah.
And it's like if they're gonna do best of 3, maybe Lesnar squashes Oba Femi in the same way he did at WrestleMania. Maybe that's what they're gonna do. Yeah. But in many ways, it's like that shouldn't be the case because you're trying to build Oba Femi. Yeah, so like I think they're just trying to milk it for what it is.
That's why when
they have nobody for Oba.
That's when you look at it. Maybe he did retire. Maybe they've pulled him back into this because I feel this effect, like. Yes, we're happy Brock's returned. What a moment. Like, we're so happy in the moment. You're enjoying it. But then when you sit back and just understand, is this really the right thing? Is there a point of having 3 matches between them two? When you think about it, I don't think there's a point of them facing 3 times.
Because now, in the moment, we're all excited about Brock's return and what this can be. But as I've said, like, during the day, I'm thinking, is it the right move? Because why should we see this match again? Not only that, but why should, Oba go... He literally just beat Brock Lesnar, and why does Brock have to come back into this to show his dominance? People might find it weird, but can Oba beat Brock Lesnar in Clash of Italy to show his dominance that Brock Lesnar's finish? Like, there's many ways we can look at it.
Go.
Yeah,
I was just saying because Brock Lesnar is probably saying to himself, I still have unfinished business with Oba. And he's thinking like, it was a short match. It was only 4 to 5 minutes. He's like, I want this match to be longer. Yeah. That's why he must have came back and no one didn't see that
and not
coming.
only that, I feel, as I think about it, maybe Oba versing Brock again could be good for Oba because say, for example, he wins. That's going to even like up his resume, elevate, Oba. So I think maybe it's not bad if, Brock versus him and it shows Brock doesn't have anything left in the tank.
We're going to have to,
But if they're going to do like 2 out of,
best out of 3.
Best of 3, if they do that, if they make it like interesting and, that the audience like get invested into between Brock Lesnar and Oba, I think it should work, but let's just hope and see what happens.
I just think it just waits on the outcome.
Yeah.
Again, like, I'm happy, like, the build up to Brock and Oba and WrestleMania was amazing. So the fact that we get to see another match, like I'm happy in that sense. But when I look at it, I just don't feel maybe there's a point to all of this, because if Oba wins again, yes, it elevates him, but like he's already did it once.
But if Lesnar wins,
do it again? I know doing it again shows again like Brock's done, like, but then Brock's eventually gonna verse Gunther. He loses again, so Brock's just constantly lost, and Gunther doesn't need a passing torch.
Well,
No,
what's
it doesn't,
what's
yeah.
good about all of this is it's unpredictable.
yeah,
Yeah.
That's
and,
correct.
and that's
what
when
we
something's unpredictable in WWE. You know, you bet your bottom dollar we're in for a good treat.
And that's what we're
That's
asking
right.
for. That's what always fans have been asking for.
And
just
that's what
this-
Triple H is good at. He's
Yeah.
good at unpredictability.
Yeah.
Now, what do you think of Baron Corbin potentially making his way back to the WWE?
Bro, again, Baron Corbin, how long has it been since he last was in WWE?
November 24, I think they released him.
Or 24.
So
Was it
Okay, so
24
it's been-
23? You
Nah,
reckon?
It's been
24,
a year and a
24.
half. Again, his storylines were, again, I really liked his storylines with the Happy Corbin, and then when he lost all the money, I think I think he offers a lot to WWE in terms of, the creativeness of him and, the storylines he's put in. So I feel like they do use him well. Of course, every wrestler wants to be in world title pictures and on the biggest stage of them all, on big storylines, but sometimes it's not like that. So I think with what they did with him last time, I think they did a fantastic job. So, but now WWE in a problem where a lot of the wrestlers, they're struggling to use them right. A lot of them are just being wasted.
Getting
in the
released.
backstage, what is it?
They're getting released too.
Yeah, getting
Yeah.
released. Grayson Waller's not being really used properly. So, if Baron Corbin comes, I feel this time around they probably would use him like that backstage, maybe a few moments here, and just he won't, get that, push. He
And
needs not
even-
push to the sky and world champion.
Just like Zack Ryder.
Just
Yeah,
like
this-
Matt
Matt
Cardona.
Matt
Cardona.
Cardona
This is
doing,
gonna
bro.
say
Like,
that.
what a-
Yeah, he's
how
been
bad's
in
he
the
been?
back. Yeah.
Like I feel like fair enough. They want to build these young ones like Ethan Page. He's looking good.
Ricky
I
Sainz
get they
as well.
want to
Yeah.
build these young ones, but don't forget about the likes of your Matt Cardonas because they have so much to offer still.
They still do,
Fans,
yeah.
fans love them. When he returned, the crowd went crazy.
The
So,
mad
like,
pop, yeah.
Don't forget about these wrestlers because they've done so much for your business.
Yeah, I don't think it's probably the best move. And he made basically all the points because we've seen it. They're just not using the talents the way they should be, used. And once again, LA Knight tonight, like he's in those backstage moments, nothing too much. He's not the main star of the company. And it just may be, a waste for Corbin. But you look at it, maybe if he was to come in, he can get some, role going and some sort of storyline. But again, we know with WWE, they're going to just somehow use it for a bit and just he'll be in the little backstage moments. And I just don't feel right now. Again, like I said, what we're in now, maybe you need these wrestlers and bring something different. But the issue is we know what they're going to do with this and they're just going to stuff it over as we've seen in the last few years.
Yeah, you're 100% right, Shabba. Like, if you're going to bring back Baron Corbin, and fitting him into the storylines or putting him in the mid card or obviously in the backstage segments, but you have to fit him in properly with stars that he wants to verse. Like dream matches, say for example, like Bronson Reed or say Oba Femi or say Bron Breakker or Seth Rollins.
There's good matches for him.
Baron Corbin's been in WWE for over 10 years, ever since he was in NXT as well. But they wasted him 2-3 years ago, and they chucked him out.
he had his moment. He versed Roman for the belt back in 20.
Was that for was it IC title?
Was it Crown Jewel?
Crown Jewel?
Yeah. That's it. The steel cage match.
Yes, that's
Yeah,
right.
that's it,
no,
yeah.
steel cage. No,
Was-
that was against Brock Lesnar.
No, there was a steel cage match. I'm pretty sure. Wasn't it?
Regardless,
No,
anyway.
No, regardless
yeah.
of what it is.
But yeah, he's been in those big cards.
Yeah,
with
he's
Roman
been
Reigns,
those
like we're
big
saying,
matches as well, like with
The
Reigns,
Happy Corbin, and it was
with
sad
Rollins. Yeah.
Madcap Moss.
But
too.
if Triple H brings him back, you put him in the right storylines with the main cards, like how I told you this again, like with dream matches, whatever.
Yeah.
But put him in, and if he becomes world heavyweight champion later, okay, understandable. But you don't want to waste him and chuck him in the bin
but,
again.
but before he got released, I remember he was doing good in NXT. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't
he
watch
did well.
NXT, but
Yeah.
I was hearing before he left. I mean, I think they dropped into NXT
and tagged him with Bron Breakker. Yeah,
Yeah,
in
yeah,
NXT as well.
and from what I heard, he was doing amazing. So
He did.
But I feel like I agree with your points. If they're going to bring him back, they're going to bring him back for the comedy bits
Yeah.
with the Danhausens,
Yeah.
with the Miz,
Yeah, I
Kit
know.
Wilson. That's what I feel they're going to bring him back for, which which I think shouldn't be the case because he does have a lot to offer.
Yeah, yeah.
Just like Cardona, just like the likes of all your quote unquote jobbers that are currently in the company. So. I think it's a great thing to bring back Baron Corbin, but just use him in the right way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
the right
use it.
direction, you would say.
Do
Yeah,
these wrestlers just get paid to just like Matt
Sit back and
Cardona,
do nothing?
He gets paid just.
I mean, look, I feel like if WWE don't want him, they will use them however they want.
Yeah.
I mean, look, perfect example. We're going to talk about Matt Cardona and the way he hasn't been used properly. You look at compare Matt Cardona to Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes, WWE wanted him. They really wanted him. Cody Rhodes didn't really need WWE. He was doing good in AEW. He was doing amazing on the Indies. WWE scouted him again because of what his character became, the American Nightmare. But with Matt Cardona, he wanted to return to the company because of Chelsea Green, and so he kept pushing over and over and over. Went on podcast interviews saying, "Look, I want to go back to the WWE with my wife, and I want to have another crack at it. I want to be world champion." And he even had it on a T-shirt at one
slogan?
stage.
He has a
He's not
saying.
finished or something.
Always ready. That's right.
Yeah, but
Always
he had
ready.
a slogan coming back in his
Yeah.
latest return by saying he's not finished or something like
And I
that.
think-
Anyways, so what I'm saying, what my point is, if WWE want you, they will use you in the way you're supposed to be used. Just like a Cody Rhodes. But if they don't really want you like a Matt Cardona, they're gonna make you as a jobber again. Just like because in all honesty, make Matt Cardona Zack Ryder again. Because he was more over as Zack Ryder than he is as Cardona.
Yeah, you're
That's right.
So that's my
You know,
two
but
cents.
when Matt Cardona was in indie wrestling as well, like obviously when he was in different promotions and all that, like I saw bits of clips like of the videos and stuff. He was like world champion, like a glimpse. Sorry. Anyways, like he was world champion everywhere, no matter what promotion like he was going to.
Yeah, he was smashing on.
He was smashing everywhere.
Killing it. That's what I'm saying. Like he like GCW, he was smashing out over there.
He was GCW world champion
that's
as
why
well.
it killed his it's killed his career again by coming back to the WWE and him being used in the way he's being used. It's just like, bro, like what do you want? Do you want to be world champion or do you want to be the same guy you were 15 years ago when you were Zack Ryder?
I feel it's Matt Cardona, but again, they probably didn't want him and he wanted to come. But I feel when things are not going right in the company and storylines are not working, fans are not happy, like you've got a good star on the side where if you can use him right, fans like Matt Cardona, and if they can use him somehow in the storylines, like fans will be invested in. I think
like something fresh.
Something fresh. And if he's just sitting on the side for another year, like, listen, what's the point of signing him? I know maybe for him, he's happy just to be in the company because he's always dreamt to come back with Chelsea Green. But I feel when we're not enjoying the storylines and what's happening, like Sammy said, I feel something like that with Matt Cardona can be something good for the company that, that can help the views go up.
Well, anyways, we can keep going on and on about how WWE aren't using Matt Cardona to his full potential. But we're going to cut it there. It's been a great episode 1 of The 4 Count. Guys, if you're new here, hit that like button, hit subscribe, comment down below. Stay tuned. We're going to have weekly videos on this channel. We're going to hit the ground running. We're going to try to produce as much wrestling content as we can. Stay tuned on our socials, TikTok, Instagram. We're on there. You'll find us there again. Make sure you go follow us there. But yeah, any last words, boys?
Oh, we're out.
Yeah.
We're out. To the next episode.